There we go. Okay, so now we're recording.
All right.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for joining us on this series of superhero healing interviews. Today, I am speaking with Madeline Deguilio, who is a psychic medium, and we're going to talk about crystals, the benefits of crystals, and how we can use crystals for healing purposes. So, Maddie, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so for those of us that are familiar with crystals, it's sort of, kind of like a given to carry crystals around. I mean, I have something on me almost at all times, but what are crystals and how do they work?
Well, crystals are made out of minerals, and like everything that's living in the earth, they all have energy. So how do they work is just like when you would buy, when you're manifesting something, you have to make it your own, and so you're infusing your own energy into the product that you buy, right? When we buy these crystals, it's our intention to put in our own energy, because if we're picking up a crystal, thousands of people have probably already picked that up, right?
Yeah.
So it's essential to make sure you're making it your own.
Okay. And so I've heard that crystals can be amplifiers, and they can also absorb energy. They can also transmute energy. What does all that mean?
Well, just like, us being gifted, right? We are so sensitive to all our surroundings, just like the crystals when we have them. They pick up other people's emotions, their lower energies, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's always crucial when we get crystals, we need to clear them.
Okay.
Well, when we buy them, they have to be cleared. And every so often you need to clear them also, because you're picking up people's emotions and all their toxicity, and they're very, very sensitive minerals.
Okay. So what I'm understanding is that anything basically that we touch, and I know this because I'm a medium as well, and so I know that whenever I buy anything that's used, whenever I buy anything, period, because it's already gone through so many hands, I need to clear it, whether it's a crystal or not.
Right.
How do you clear your crystals?
Okay, so there's different ways. I like to clear it with the singing bowls.
Okay, awesome.
And usually when you go to the metaphysical store, they should, most of them do, when you buy crystals, they put it in the singing bowl and clear it for you.
Awesome.
And so also you can use quartz, clear quartz.
Okay. That
crystal is the only one actually that clears and charges crystals.
Awesome. Good to know. Okay, and then what do we do after we buy a crystal?
Okay, so once they clear it for you in the store, you then grab it with your left hand, because your left hand is actually your receiving hand for energy.
Okay.
You're a healer also, like me. So when we're teaching clients and whatnot, we always should tell them that it's your left hand for clearing and receiving, right?
Okay.
That's your hand for receiving the energy. So yes, you would grab it with your left hand, and to make it your own, now you're infusing it with your own energy, you would close your hand, it's simple, and say, I now activate this crystal.
Okay.
And that's how you make it your own, because then you're closing, your energy is going through it, right? And you're ready to go.
Okay. I like to add an intention to them that they will only be used for good as well. Now, crystals are metals as well. So minerals form different compounds in nature, as well as in everyday life. Like, so many things are created from minerals. But are there certain crystals that will drain us, or certain minerals that will drain us from energy versus help us heal?
I wouldn't say so much. Like, you got to be careful with like pyrite. Pyrite contains copper.
Okay.
And so I think pyrite's the only one really that would affect anything because it's the copper that would affect us. Most crystals, like I said, are great. So
Okay.
I would have to, yeah.
Okay.
That one is the only one that you would have to be careful with.
Okay. And why is that with copper?
Well, copper is no good because when you're absorbing it in your body, right, it has negative effects on our health.
Okay.
So,
Too much.
so I would never recommend carrying pyrite in your pocket or whatever, right? Because it's actually very toxic to your body.
Okay. All right. So what can we use pyrite for?
Pyrite's great for manifesting money. Business. I love it. I have a huge one here, actually.
Okay. So for the male energy. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And so tying it into the superhero healing group, where some of us have been through different obstacles throughout our lives, whether it's abuse or chronic illness. I did a survey with our members, and what came up as some of the really strong emotions that are remnant or are still remaining from whatever they've gone through is anger, anxiety, depression, guilt, low self-esteem, and letting go of the past. They feel like they're still being chained down by whatever affected them. So what crystals can we use, for example, to let go of anger?
Well, I want to start it off by saying clear quartz actually is the master healer crystal for anything you're going through. It's like one of my favorite to work with.
Mine too.
Now there's different things. So I would recommend that because it's very powerful. Top number one, you know?
Okay.
And I had to write down everything here because there's just too many crystals.
Yeah, I know. That's why I don't. Yeah, I don't consider myself a full expert. Yeah. Okay.
So abuse, I would say abuse is number one. That like with my clients that I find it's just so hard letting go, like you said. Now rhodonite is great. It's a kind of like a pink, purplish stone.
Okay.
That's for abuse.
Okay.
You can use that. And I wrote down a few things here, and that also clears emotional wounds.
Okay, awesome.
Amethyst is for letting go. Another favorite stone I love.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
It just makes me happy.
Yeah. And depression too, it works wonder for depression. Lapso there, the blue stone, beautiful for anxiety, depression, anything lower you're feeling. So those citrine, which brings positive, it changes your views. So again, for the depression, if you want to feel a little lighter, you would want to go for citrine.
Okay, which is a yellowish stone.
Yes. I actually got
Yeah, and that's another thing that it's good to get a guide on crystals because they're not always like amethyst isn't always purple. There's different shades of amethyst. Right. The same with the rose quartz. It's not always a nice, vibrant pink. It can be lighter, almost white. And the same with a whole bunch of other stones. Depending on the concentration of the mineral, they won't be the color that you're expecting them to be, but they still hold the healing qualities within them.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so as far as building self-esteem, which is a huge issue, even if you haven't been through abuse, what stone would you recommend? Is that citrine?
Well, citrine, like I said, that's just for changing your thought patterns, and it's also great for businesses. So it brings you luck. So I love that stone also. But no, you want to self-love is a number one thing too, and I think that's where you're tying into also here. And rose quartz.
Love that one.
Anything to do with that mother figure, that if you have issues with your mom or whatever, just finding that self-love, that's the stone for you,
Good to know. I didn't even realize that there was a link with the mom issue, which
yes, because that stone also you work with Mother Mary.
Okay.
A lot of people don't know that, and it's a great stone. Like I said, self-love, you want to build yourself up, and give yourself confidence. You want that stone.
Okay.
But I want to add too, when you're going into the store, it's one thing for me to tell a client what to get, but I always tell my client, you need to go to the metaphysical store and see what pops out at you, what you're drawn to, because your guides are showing you what you need at that present time in your life, right?
Yeah.
So we got to make sure we include that, right? They have to pick what you're drawn to.
Yeah. Yeah. I like doing that too, and not looking at the labels, and just sometimes I go by color, sometimes I just go by the energy that I feel from the, like, if it looks pretty for me, then I pick it up, and then I do the research as to what the mineral means, and then
That's
I realized
right.
I was drawn to the right one.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Exactly. So that's crucial. That's crucial for people to know that, yes, if you're going to get healing done or whatnot, and they recommend something, sure, write it down. But I always tell them, whatever pops out at you, your guides are like leading you to what you need at this present time in your life, so you can move forward.
Awesome. Now, are there better times of the day that you can wear a crystal, or does it really matter?
No, absolutely not. Obviously, when the full moon is in check, it lasts for a few days anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously at those times, everything is amped, right? But no, doesn't matter what time of day, evening.
Awesome. That's good to know, because I know that sometimes my friends have asked, when, how. It's almost like they want the set of instructions that come with them. And to me, it's just, I have crystals all over my place. I have them right beside my bed so that they're always protecting me. And that actually brings me to another point, because I do get asked a lot, how do I protect myself? With people who are aware of my gifts, and that, there are spirits and perhaps even negative energies that surround them. Even somebody just being jealous of you or wishing you bad can affect you. So how do we either transmute the energy so that it becomes positive energy, or at least protect ourselves with an invisible shield through crystals, so that those energies don't affect us?
Well, black tourmaline is my favorite, and so is jet. Those actually have a huge piece right here. I'm surrounded too.
Yeah.
Huge. But it's one of my favorite ones. Mm-hmm. And also when we carry them, right? Like I'm wearing them all over the place. I carry it in my purse. Like you said, some women put it in their bra. There's nothing wrong with that. Nobody needs to know, right? Nobody needs to know. You could have it in your sock, your pocket. And also you have to visualize also being in the bubble, and it's crucial to be grounded. I know I don't want to go off topic, but I think all those three things is crucial.
Yeah.
When you want to, being an empath, I'm an empath, so I pick up easily. And when I never even knew years ago, the balance and all that, right?
Yeah.
It's crucial to be grounded. You need to be visualizing you in a bubble, saying a prayer to God or whoever you worship, and carrying the crystals.
Okay.
So now, tourmaline and jet.
Okay. And how which crystals would help us get grounded?
Like I said, the black, even this is not just for
protection.
Right. It's for also grounding.
Okay.
Tiger's eye is amazing. Tiger's eye, another one of my favorites for grounding and getting that confidence, right?
Yes. Yeah. I just recently acquired a couple of tiger's eyes, and I love them. And it is amazing how you don't even have to pay attention or be conscious of it, but you just feel differently around them.
Yeah.
So the more crystals I surround myself with, the better I feel. And I think, man, this was easy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. How do we, so you mentioned ways of clearing the crystals, and I know that selenite is a very special crystal as well. Do you use that also for clearing crystals, or do you stick to clear quartz?
Clear quartz, like I said, is my favorite, but yes. Now, I wouldn't recommend being a medium, and you know this. I first got this years ago, and I put it beside my bed. I didn't know back then that I woke up and it was like everybody was surrounding me in the past. I'm like, oh, what's going on here? And the lady had told me, never put it beside your bed.
Yeah.
Unless you want a lot of action.
Yeah.
But it is amazing, Crystal. It really is.
Yeah. Okay. And so we talked about the most powerful crystal. And if I wanted to build a shrine, which I do,
Yes.
how would you go about building that shrine so that it sort of promotes your inner peace?
Again, everybody's different, right? So you need to be building it on what you're drawn to, what makes you happy. So adding things in, it could be statues, whatever it is you're trying to manifest. So self-love, we're going to get a big thing of rose quartz, Mother Mary, maybe,
Yeah.
anything that really, whatever you feel that symbolizes what you know what I mean? Yeah. You have to make it your own. You can't go to a healer or whatever. They can give you clues, but it's actually, you need to make it your personal space, right? What you're trying to build. So really you can't say anything there, right?
Okay. And examples of crystals that can heal you from certain diseases.
Again, it all goes back. That's what I do with my clients. It's a clear quartz, master healer, amethyst also, for example, opening and working with your third eye, you would place it. Again, when we are talking about crystals here and how they heal these specific illnesses or whatnot, again, it comes with your chakras, right? So if I want to work on my third eye and opening it, I'm going to place it right where my third eye is. Yeah. So it's placing the crystals where your illness is, your stomach, right? Yeah. We have these very sensitive spots, right? Yeah. On our, you know this about your chakras, and so you just place it there. Okay. And again, it's all your intention. Also, you're calling in your guides. You're calling in all the helpers, right? To help heal that specific thing, right? Okay.
Now I like to meditate with crystals as well. So I will do the clear quartz for my crown chakra. I'll do the amethyst for my third eye, the sodalite, or another blue stone for my communication center, which is the throat. And then the heart is either the pink quartz or the green tourmaline. Yes. And then my solar plexus is always with a yellow citrine, and sacral is what's the red one? Either red jasper or
jasper. Yes, jasper's great.
Yes, red jasper's awesome. And and then the base or root chakra is always a dark stone, so obsidian, black tourmaline, and I just really set the intention for balancing my chakras as well. And I find it so much more effective than if I meditate without them. Yes. So that's another way that I use them also for balancing my energy. Now, is it okay to use sage or Palo Santo or any sort of smoke to cleanse the crystals as well?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
They're great. But I think we were talking too about how to charge them in the water.
Yes, or the sun. And what not to do, because some of them are soluble, and if you put them in water, they will literally melt away. So what care should we take, or how can we sort of be on the safe side so that we don't hurt our crystals?
It's actually the only one that has that is the tiger's eye. That's the only one you're not supposed to put in there because it carries that poisonous substance, right?
Ah, okay.
So
to wear while swimming.
Yeah, it's amazing. I don't like to charge like that though with the water. I really don't. Okay. It's not my thing, but you would just put it in the moonlight or sunlight. Okay. When you want to charge. But yeah, tiger's eye is the one that you just do not want to do that.
Okay. And I know selenite you don't put in water because that one is definitely water soluble. Yeah. And there's lots of guides that you can get on Amazon or at mystical stores. Yes. Where do you like to get your crystals on your side of the city?
The closest one. I actually work at this metaphysical store. I teach out of there.
Oh,
It's a metaphysical store close by.
mm-hmm.
Again, when you're buying crystals, you got to make sure they're the real deal.
Yeah, okay.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of fakes out there.
Yeah.
And you have to do your research before going to these stores, right?
Okay. Yeah, there's a really good place downtown Toronto at Bathurst and Bloor area.
Yeah.
That's quite popular. And yeah, I mean, you can find them anywhere from up north, east, west. There's crystals everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what's important too is just listening to yourself and seeing what sort of calls you towards the crystals.
Like I'm wearing a luminar,
Okay.
which is the stone of the sea.
Beautiful.
I do past life healing also, and this is connected to Atlantis, and I had a past life in there. But it also is really great for mediums. You should get one.
Awesome. What's it called again?
Luminar.
Luminar. Okay.
It's absolutely gorgeous, but I ordered this. You have to only order it from the Dominican.
Okay.
Everyone else, it's all fake.
Ah.
So, yeah, it's pricey, but you know what? It heightens your gifts. It's amazing. I don't know. It's one of my favorite.
Yeah. Well, I have a friend who makes a whole lots of jewelry with crystals, and I just bought a whole bunch just before I went to Costa Rica 2 weeks ago, and I can't get enough. I'm planning my next order already, and
it's so true.
There's two vices in life: books and crystals.
It's so true. It's so addicting, and there's never enough. And there's, like I was telling you before we started, you don't know them all because there's always a new one, right?
Oh, I know.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, and one that I find is at least for me, it really calls me is aquamarine for the throat chakra, because when you've gone through trauma, abuse, anything that really sort of makes you clench and puts you in a really bad state, to open up, one of the most healing things that we have available to us is our voice. And it's part of being human is our ability to express ourselves. And the voice is what gives our soul its ability to speak out. So any stone that is a light blue color or just blue in general would be great for the throat chakra and opening up that ability to just let everything out.
And I think a lot of clients, me, myself, and I healed finding my voice.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people suffer from, you can notice thyroid issues.
Yeah.
More and more happening with women, but it's not really what's going on in there. You've lost your voice.
Yeah.
You need to stand your ground.
Yeah.
It's actually really hard, I think we all struggle from that. Self-love, number one, and number two is the voice.
Okay.
That I find.
Yeah, me too. And self-love sounds like, oh yeah, self-love. But when I actually give clients an exercise to do, which is the mirroring exercise of looking in the mirror and actually saying, I love you, they break down in tears. And I know because I did that. I went through that. And it sounds like, yeah, no problem. Don't worry about it. And then you go to do it and you realize, I don't love myself enough to do it. And so I tell clients, fake it till you make it.
That's right.
That's what I did. I would look in the mirror and feel like a complete fool. And then it was keep doing it. And now I'm like, you're so awesome.
Yes. Because if you don't love yourself, how can you expect anyone else to? And I had that too. I suffer from that too. Like people say, oh, you're beautiful. Like I didn't see it. I went through a lot in my life also. And the mirror challenge, I also tell my clients, it's amazing, not just for self-love, but manifesting what you want.
Yeah. Awesome.
I always get them to write it down on a piece of paper and read it every day. And that's how I built my business also, putting it out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yep. Now, Maddie, you're not just a psychic medium. I mean, you do a lot of things. And the reason I actually became so called to contact you as well is because I was in a Facebook group, which you helped administer. And what I loved about you was you're a very loving individual, you're very caring and very giving. So you're always offering people advice, free advice on this particular group. And I really appreciated that, because a lot of the times people hold back and say, no, you know, if you want my info, you've got to pay. If you want, and you're all about giving and giving and giving. So I want to thank you for that. It's awesome, but
Thank you.
it's something that I want to let everybody know. You also do life coaching and spiritual coaching for anybody that's looking to develop their own intuitive gifts. And I consider you one of my mentors as well. And people ask me, like, why do you talk to other psychics, or why do you go to other psychics? And it's the same thing that I tell my own clients. The only reason you're coming to see me is so that I can validate what you already know deep down inside. And if you're coming to see me, it's because you are intuitive too. Everybody is. They may not be aware of it, but they're intuitive. So I feed off of you, you know, and I validate what I already know. Yeah, and for anybody that is within our group that's also intuitive or wants to find out more about their intuitive abilities, and just expand them, how can they contact you? Or even to find out more about crystals, how can they contact you? Is there a specific page on Facebook that they should contact you through?
Yes, it's Insights with Madeline on Facebook there, and I give, like I said, lots of free stuff, and because it's all about helping. And that's when, you know, when we first met, and I helped you, I just was drawn to you too. Your energy was just beautiful.
Thank
and
you.
It's crazy. Everybody comes in your life, I think, for a reason.
Yeah.
And I feel like me and you, it's like it's a deeper, you know, deeper meaning.
Yeah.
And like doing this, I feel it feels right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, so I'm all about helping, and you know, just we're relying the messages to them. They already know, like you said. Everybody, I always say that on my lives too when I do it. I'm like, you don't need a psychic, you don't need a medium, you don't need me, but I'm here if you need me. You know.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. You know, and it's what, like anything in life, even mentors need mentors. So Tony Robbins has mentors. Everybody has mentors, because they're, you know, anyone who professes to know everything there is to know about anything is a liar.
Exactly. Exactly.
So we're constantly learning, and I learn from you, you learn from me, and just it's great to feed off of each other.
Yeah.
So again, thank you. It's been a blessing to know you and to get to continue to get to know you. So thanks. And if anybody wants to, again, to contact Maddie, it's through Insights with Madeline on Facebook, and you can send her a private message through her page, and she'd be happy to answer any questions you have. So thanks again, Maddie. I will be in touch soon.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay. Talk to you soon.
Love and light.
Love and light. Bye-bye.
Bye.